Buried beneath the bustling streets of modern Portsmouth lies a secret, a hidden chapter of history waiting to be uncovered. Hidden for centuries, the remains of a medieval hospital whisper tales of a time long past, a time when the world was very different from today. This is a place where the sick and suffering sought refuge, where skilled hands offered care, and where faith intertwined with medicine. It was a sanctuary for those in need, a beacon of hope in a time of darkness. But what stories do these ancient stones and artifacts tell us? Each piece unearthed holds a fragment of the past, a glimpse into the lives of those who walked these halls. What can we learn about life, death, and healing within the walls of Portsmouth's lost hospital? The manuscripts and relics reveal the medical practices of the time, the challenges faced, and the resilience of the human spirit. Let's grab our trowels and brushes and begin our archaeological exploration. Each careful stroke uncovers more of the story, bringing us closer to understanding the past. Our journey takes us back to the Middle Ages, a time when hospitals played a vital role in communities across England. They were more than just medical facilities, they were integral parts of the social fabric. These weren't just places for medical treatment, they were havens for the poor, the elderly, and the infirm, offering food, shelter, and spiritual comfort alongside physical healing. Monks and nuns dedicated their lives to caring for those in need, embodying the spirit of compassion and service that defined these institutions. Imagine England in the Middle Ages. Life was tough, with disease, famine, and conflict commonplace. For those who fell ill, injured, or simply couldn't support themselves, hospitals offered a lifeline. Run by religious orders, these institutions were more than just medical facilities. They were places of charity and compassion, reflecting the Christian values of the time. Hospitals provided food, shelter, and clothing to those in need, offering a safety net in a harsh world. They were places of sanctuary, where the weary traveler could find rest, the sick could seek a cure, and the dying could find solace. While medical practices of the time might seem rudimentary to us today, medieval hospitals were beacons of hope and healing for countless people. Our Time Team excavation at Portsmouth has revealed the hospital's secrets, layer by layer, uncovering centuries of history buried beneath the soil. The foundations of the building, carefully uncovered by our archaeologists, paint a picture of a substantial structure, one that stood the test of time and witnessed countless stories. We found remnants of walls, floors, and even a well, giving us clues about the hospital's layout and daily life. These discoveries help us understand how the space was used and how people interacted within it. But the real treasures lie in the smaller details, the artifacts that tell the personal stories of those who lived and worked here. Fragments of pottery used for cooking and storing food tell us what the hospital's residents ate. These pieces reveal the diet and daily sustenance of the medieval inhabitants. A discarded surgical instrument hints at the medical treatments on offer. This tool provides insight into the medical practices and the level of care provided to the patients, and a tiny lead pilgrim badge shaped like a saint speaks to the importance of faith in the healing process. Such artifacts highlight the spiritual aspect of medieval healthcare. Each artifact is a piece of the puzzle, helping us to reconstruct the story of this medieval hospital. Together they form a vivid picture of life in a bygone era, allowing us to step back in time and understand the past. No archaeological excavation of a medieval site would be complete without the discovery of a graveyard, and Portsmouth's hospital is no exception. The skeletal remains found here provide a poignant glimpse into the lives and deaths of those who were cared for within the hospital walls. Careful analysis of the bones can tell us a great deal about these individuals. Their age, sex, diet, and even the diseases they suffered from are all etched into their skeletal remains. We can see evidence of healed fractures, suggesting that the hospital provided some level of surgical care. We can also see signs of malnutrition and disease, reminding us of the harsh realities of life in the Middle Ages. Caring for the sole religious life at the hospital. Hospitals in the Middle Ages were deeply intertwined with religion. The care provided wasn't just about healing the body, it was about caring for the soul as well. Religious orders ran these institutions, and faith played a central role in daily life. Our excavations at Portsmouth have uncovered evidence of this religious devotion. We've found fragments of stained glass, perhaps once part of a beautiful window depicting biblical scenes. We've also found a small lead ampulla, a container used to hold holy water, likely given to patients as a source of comfort and healing. These objects remind us that for those living and dying within the hospital walls, faith was a constant companion. A day in the life routines and remedies. What was it like to be a patient, a staff member, or even a visitor at Portsmouth's medieval hospital? The daily routines were a blend of care, community, and spirituality, each playing a crucial role in the lives of those within its walls. Imagine waking to the sound of chanting as the monks began their morning prayers. This ritual marked the beginning of the day, setting a tone of reverence and hope. The smell of herbs and stews wafted from the kitchen, a welcome aroma for those used to meager rations. The kitchen was a bustling hub, where cooks prepared nourishing meals using simple yet wholesome ingredients. Patients, some bedridden, others able to walk with assistance, gathered in the communal areas, seeking solace in shared stories and prayers. These communal spaces were vital for emotional support, fostering a sense of belonging and mutual care. The day was punctuated by the rhythm of care, changing bandages, administering herbal remedies, offering words of comfort. Caregivers worked tirelessly, their efforts a blend of rudimentary medical knowledge and compassionate care. The boundaries between physical and spiritual healing were blurred, with prayer and religious rituals an integral part of treatment. Monks often prayed with patients, believing that spiritual well-being was as important as physical health. As evening fell, the hospital would settle into a hushed quietude, the flickering light of candles casting long shadows on the stone walls. The end of the day brought a sense of peace, as patients and staff alike found moments of reflection and rest. The hospital's patients, who were they? Who were the people who sought refuge within the walls of Portsmouth's medieval hospital? They came from all walks of life, united by their need for care and compassion. Some were travelers, struck down by illness or injury far from home. Others were local residents, too poor or too sick to care for themselves. The hospital's patients were a cross-section of medieval society, reflecting the challenges of the time. There would have been elderly folks unable to work and reliant on the hospital's charity. There would have been mothers who had recently given birth, needing a safe place to recover their strength. And there would have been children, orphaned or abandoned, finding shelter and sustenance within the hospital's walls. Beyond the walls, the hospital's place in Portsmouth. Portsmouth's medieval hospital didn't exist in isolation. It was an integral part of the town's fabric, connected to the wider community in countless ways. The hospital relied on the generosity of local benefactors for financial support. Wealthy merchants, pious townsfolk, and even the local lord would have donated money, food, and supplies to ensure the hospital's survival. In return, the hospital played a vital role in the town's social and spiritual life. It provided employment for local people, from skilled craftsmen who maintained the building to laborers who worked in the kitchens and gardens. And it served as a place of prayer and pilgrimage for the townsfolk, who sought solace and healing within its sacred walls. The hospital's decline. What happened? Like many medieval institutions, Portsmouth's hospital eventually met its demise. The reasons for its decline are complex and multifaceted, mirroring the broader social, religious, and economic changes sweeping across Europe. The Reformation, which led to the dissolution of many monasteries and religious institutions, likely played a role. The rise of new ideas about poverty and charity, coupled with changes in medical practices, also contributed to the decline of traditional hospitals. By the early modern period, hospitals were increasingly seen as places of last resort, reserved for the destitute and the incurably ill. The legacy of care and compassion that had defined these institutions for centuries began to fade. A window to the past, the importance of Portsmouth's hospital. The archaeological exploration of Portsmouth's medieval hospital offers us far more than just a glimpse into the past. It provides a window into the lives, beliefs, and values of a bygone era. By carefully analyzing the physical remains of the building, the artifacts left behind, and even the skeletal remains of those who were laid to rest here, we can piece together a remarkably detailed picture of medieval society. This site reminds us that the need for care and compassion is timeless, transcending centuries and societal changes. It also highlights the evolving nature of healthcare and the complex interplay between religion, science, and society in shaping our understanding of health and well-being. Conclusion: echoes of compassion. As we stand here amongst the ruins of Portsmouth's lost hospital, We're surrounded by echoes of the past. We can almost hear the hushed whispers of prayers, the shuffling of feet on stone floors, and the murmurs of comfort offered to the suffering. Though centuries have passed since these walls provided refuge to those in need, the spirit of compassion that permeated this place still resonates today. The archaeological discoveries at Portsmouth serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring human need for care, both physical and spiritual. They also underscore the importance of archaeology in uncovering the hidden stories of our past, connecting us to those who came before us and enriching our understanding of the human experience.